Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. Adam here from Automotive Action Media. Today we are going to be changing over the clutch slave cylinder on the Holden Colorado, and we're also going to be fitting one of these bypass hoses for the dampener as well. So I've actually went and got this Jackaroo slave cylinder and the bypass hose from Sydney 4x4. Tommy Barnes, he has some really good products on there, guys, so jump on the website, check it all out. I'll put a link in the description below, and yeah, you can get both this slave and this bypass hose from him, as well as many other aftermarket products, including like just like bigger turbos and everything. He's got a really good, awesome store, so let's do it. Firstly, let's take that inspection plate off, ready for later. Remove the two bolts and the plate. Secondly, crack the clutch line while the slave is still attached, as it's quite tight. You can now remove the line here. I had just got a little bit ahead of myself and removed the slave bolts first while doing the video. Be sure to catch any leaking fluid, and unlike myself, ensure you use mechanics latex gloves. Now loosen the bottom sensor bolt. You can now remove the bottom and top slave cylinder bolts with your 14mm spanners or sockets. Turn the slave cylinder around. You can now easily access the top sensor bolt. Remove both sensor bolts and it will separate from the slave cylinder. Now to remove the clutch line and dampener. Follow the clutch line up until you see a bracket. With your 12mm spanner, undo the nut and pull it out like so. You won't need this bracket. Now looking from under the bonnet, we need to undo the clutch line on top of the dampener. Grab something to wedge inside the bracket so it doesn't bend. Using a 12mm spanner, undo and remove the clutch line. Looking from inside the passenger wheel well, undo and remove these two nuts that hold the dampener bracket. Back under the bonnet, you can now pull the whole dampener and clutch line assembly out. That's everything out. Obviously, yeah, some of the clutch fluid was just leaking over. I just had a little rag down underneath the car, just so majority of it was just leaking down onto that rather than the floor. I do have a piece of vinyl I actually laid down on the floor as well. Really, really handy if you don't want to do your concrete all damaged up and whatnot. But that is it. There's your dampener. And essentially what the bypass is going to do is go from here right down to here. So let's get that fitted now, and let's get the new slave fitted, and we'll try and bleed it. Let's install the bypass hose first, but don't tighten it up just yet. Keep it loose to ensure the banjo fitting on the slave is at the right angle. Now back under the car, we can install the new Jackaroo slave cylinder. Place the rod inside the slave just like so. Now install the new slave into the gearbox, and using the inspection hole, ensure the rod is lined up inside the little pocket on the clutch fork. Now we can reinstall the two bolts and tighten them back up. Cut the zip tie holding the two copper washers. Install one onto the banjo bolt, put the banjo bolt through the clutch line fitting, and put the other washer on the other side. Now remove the thread cap on the slave cylinder. Install the banjo bolt and fitting together and tighten up. Now I forgot to remove the wiring earlier, and I will show you how to now. There are 3 clips holding this wiring to the gearbox. Remove or even cut those clips if you wish. Follow the cable towards the top of the gearbox where you will find a plug to undo. I found it easier to remove this bracket first to give more slack on the wiring so I could reach the plug. Remove the wiring and put the bracket back onto the gearbox. It was a little hard to show this on camera as it was quite a tight space and I couldn't get the light in there. Now that everything is installed underneath the car, we can tighten up the bypass hose and the clutch line using the 19 and 12mm spanner. Now we can start the bleeding process. Remove the cap from the bleed valve and undo the valve about a quarter turn. Now this is where it's best to have a 6mm clear hose attached to the top of the bleed valve and down into a large bottle to ensure the fluid doesn't spray everywhere, just like so. Something I forgot to do before starting the job. I just had a oil pan set below to catch all the fluid. Now grab a mate and get them to continually push down on the clutch pedal with that bleed valve still open on the slave. Keep topping up the fluid as it goes down. We want to get rid of as much of that old dirty fluid as possible until the fluid comes out clean. Now to bleed the air from the system. Tighten the bleed valve on the slave cylinder. One person will push down on the clutch pedal 5 to 10 times, then hold the clutch pedal down, while the other person will open the bleed valve for a short moment, then shut it closed. Do this 2 to 3 times, top up the fluid, then repeat the process. The fluid can come out looking sort of foamy as it's filled with air, and sometimes may even spit or spray when it's under pressure. You may need to do this a number of times until there is clean fluid only and the clutch feels normal again. Now lastly, reinstall the inspection plate and tighten up the bolts. Clean up any clutch fluid with degreaser. Top up the clutch fluid, put the cap back on and reinstall your engine cover. Alrighty, so that's pretty well, the end of that. Clutch is feeling good, and you should be left over with just this piece here with your dampener and your hose, just the electronic cable for the back of the old clutch slave and the old clutch slave. So it was a little bit of a mission of a job, mainly because of the cleaning. I didn't actually have like I said, the little 6mm hose off of there just to flow the fluid. So all I done was I just put a big oil pan underneath, just let it spray up, hit the alloy casting, that's fine, and just let it drip down into that oil pan. But then just gave it a little degrease over and go from there. Look, to be honest, I didn't actually wear gloves in this. You really should be wearing gloves when doing something like this. You don't really want all the clutch fluid all over your hands, fingers, soaking into your skin. It actually isn't good for you, so probably set a little bit of a bad example on this one. I'm just a little out of touch at the moment with doing a lot of mechanical work. But yeah, hey, look, if you learn something from this and you want to be able to tackle this yourself, it's not a hard job. It's just a little bit fiddly. That's all it is. So, it really helps to have another person with you. Trying to self-bleed this system is just, it can be done, but it's just much easier if you've got a second person with you as well. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you have any questions or want to leave a comment, just comment below and let me know if you've done it yourself. Or if there's anything else that you think that I've missed in the video, let me know in the comments below, because then it can let other people know as well. So appreciate it all, and see you in the next video. Thanks.
Nice. Surprise. Not that I don't have any full confidence in you, but...
Oh yeah, no, I don't either.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's really weird. Just looking at yourself on camera over and over again when you're editing. Yeah.
And hearing your voice over and over and over.
Yeah, I know, I get sick of myself. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Adam here from, what am I from again?
That's still recording, eh? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so. This guy's a freaking Gumby ass idiot. Freaking YouTube mechanics. Don't know what they're bloody talking about.
Tighter than a nun. Hey, there you go. Got it.